I can tell my way out of any situation. Yeah. If that's like someone's superpower. If that can be a superpower, I guess it's mine. How many words per minute on a phone? I don't know. I do a lot of swipe typing, so I don't think that really counts. In the bottom right of this best of 3, we have the Blue Protoss creator. In the top left as the right Terran, it is INnoVation. Constantly bantering with other players in the Olimoleague. Really goes hand in hand. INnoVation, Olimoleague, talking. He's quite the chatty Cathy. Couldn't tell you what you're saying. I saw, you know, the word really in there. I see the word and then. I saw numbers. That's about it. And we have the word today. I can give you 1 word per sentence. And you guys can figure it out. Someone's gonna mess up their micro typing. It's gotta happen. Maybe they're friends? Who knows? The actual StarCraft things that we kind of know. $610, 3 base, no rush. Is that what they're gonna say? And a Chrono Adept coming through here as the Reaper comes in. Oh, look at that. Look at that timing. And runs her back out. And a followed up Sentry. Okay. INnoVation going for the 1-1, and I'm going to assume another one. INnoVation was slapping down Protosses in this Olimoleague. I didn't get to cast this one, but we cast him versus Trap, and it was a complete beatdown. Like, INnoVation really looking... He looks great in the Olimoleague. Not only is he super chatty in the Olimoleague, he actually gets very far in it usually. And for a time, I strongly believed that he was going to be back to being, like, you know, unbeatable INnoVation for the GSLs this year. It didn't exactly happen, right? He didn't win GSL last season. But... was someone lagging? Perhaps. But his Protoss versus, like, his versus Protoss online, like, almost always looks so amazing, and then he doesn't seem to ever quite get the same thing in the actual leagues, but that's a tough break. One of mine's gonna deny the Lucid Scout, but not before it gets all the information it needs. It's all 3 buildings. Misses a very quick follow-up of a second barracks, though. So that's gonna tell you there's not much else going on, I guess. Like, it wasn't the fastest tech lab, it's probably not gonna be any Banshees, not that it would have been in the first place. And that you are going to have a really decently timed stim with how fast the barracks followed up the 1-1-1. This is delaying something else, and that is the engineering bay, I believe. We have faster +1s with certain builds. I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to list all the other builds, but you will see a lot of times, like, +1 lined up quite well with stim and combat chills and all that. I think it will be later here. Raven actually being made. I was right about the not Banshees, but it had to give up something, and I assumed it was going to give up the tank production, like early tank production. Obviously no Cyclone, but I was wrong. It actually gave up the tank production, gave up the factory production, is going for the starport production, and then there is that faster sim I was talking about. What am I drop does commence. And is going to be denied by a couple stalkers. Yeah, the Widow Mines is not gonna see any results. Widow Mines also do not scout the main base at all, but the medevac does get out alive. I guess it saw the third nexus. No, it did not, actually. It didn't even see the pylon building. Okay, well that's a little... as far as scouting goes, I think that's a little disappointing. INnoVation is still just worrying about building up his bio count right now and getting to medevacs. I guess you don't really consider something different to do against your opponent regardless of what build you scout until, you know, 4 medevacs are out and then you decide to go into Liberators or Vikings. You're probably still going to add on Widow Mines, although no reactor on the factory quite yet. But I would usually say you'd want to see the third Nexus timing. You'd want to see if there's a robotics bay. Like, you want to see all these things. But I guess that's can come a little bit later. Raven is going to deny any hop-ups into the main base. Our force does have a very large, like, booty of the main, let's call it, sure. Where you can still hop up into it. Not as abusive as some other maps, but it's still kind of annoying. But with INnoVation being so well prepared against just a very, very small amount of stalkers, I don't think Creator's gonna even try. No way is Cinecomics has been taken out this time. Yeah, no factory production whatsoever with this. His +1 did still time out really well with his stim and combat shields, so I was wrong about that too. But it's very odd nowadays to see absolutely no factory production. We're talking about no early Cyclone. Not that he really needed one, so I wasn't too surprised by that. He had the high ground, he had a bunker really fast, like so on and so forth. But I thought for sure he'd either get a couple of tanks, or he'd start adding on Widow Mines, and he just isn't using his factory at all. So I guess that is that's a way to do it. Double medevacs? No, single medevac is picked up. It's going to be a little bit of harassment. Also get a little bit of that scouting that, again, thus far has been missing. And the stalkers do see the move out in the front. Marauders slow will finish up very, very soon. +1 armor still has a ways to go, but ditto for our Protoss. He doesn't already have +1 attack, though, so upgrades will be even. And we should have at least 1 Colossus. Yeah, we have 2 Colossus, in fact. One just had popped out, and that's what happened. 2 Colossus, still a damn decent amount. What's going to be tricky, though, is defending all of your bases. So since your army's still on a little bit of the lower side, you don't have a lot of zealots either to just like leave behind as your stalkers go chasing after medevacs and whatnot. And because we're talking about Colossus, we're talking about Interference Matrix, which, boy, yeah. So Crater just got bopped a little bit. The attack in the main's also going really well. Denied production, and it's been a while since I've seen the Raven bop a Colossus build that hard. Like, that is, it's one of the best things you can do against someone who goes into Colossus is get, I mean, Raven's just good in general. Let's not kid ourselves, but Interference Matrix especially powerful against someone who's depending heavily on the big but few units. But holy hell, I mean, this was just, look, I mean, this... The force fields come down late. There were absolutely no charge lots to help out here. Creator didn't see the army go to the third base, I guess, and was distracted by the main. He actually had some money to warp in zealots, and that would have done really well for him. I mean, look how low these units were. Everything said and done. He can survive this, as one-sided as it looks, if the micro and positioning is a little bit different. I mean, if he has a even half a warping of zealots, right? Even 4 zealots plus the force fields. Buy a little time, wait for the interference matrix to wear off, and you probably still hold. Although with the drop and the main doing as much damage as it did, it wouldn't have been a pretty hold. But that was just a bop. Oof. If. Maybe Creator should stop typing back to INnoVation and start typing zealot warpins. Propel would have helped. Yeah, but I think that does go just back with the whole idea of, like, he just was not prepared for that attack. Because if he has 4 force fields and pulls the army back and lets, like, the Nexus take a bit of pepper or something like that, it's already so different right then and there. But that can certainly happen. Interference Matrix is a pretty good spell to have, especially against what Creator was doing. right? Creator had Colossus is what he was mostly depending on. A very large number of stalkers, which is great, but you need something on top of that, the fodder, right? And give him another 30 seconds, he has like 16 zealots, and it's a very different fight. But even, again, like if he just had like 5 or 6 zealots there on the front line, I think it would have been very different too. Once again, the 6-10 thing? Oh, I'm watching the same game. I was like, what the hell? Why are we back into the same game? Let's try that again. I see what I did. Okay. Whoop. Also, to take away from the fight itself for a second here, INnoVation's build was probably just that extra X amount of units that other Terrans would not have had. They would have had 4 Widow Mines that get, you know, destroyed instantly or don't get really good shots or something like that. Or 2 tanks that can't pounce on an engagement like that. But INnoVation had all of those bio units, just like pure bio units, to have the drop in the main, and then 1 or 2 extra Marauders even with the build that he did, plus the macro that he has. It really is different. Poor Creator, not looking so good versus INnoVation. Game number 2 on Port Alexander in the bottom right as the blue Protoss. It is Creator. In the top left, as the red Terran, it is INnoVation. Bob and Protoss left and right, at least in online leagues. Gonna have to go ahead and steal that build too. I mean, I won't be able to execute it nearly as well as our boy INnoVation here, but what's really nice about that build for INnoVation, from INnoVation for us actually, is that it might not do very well against like super early attacks because you don't have that tank to protect, but if you're gonna get the bunker that fast on a map with a high ground ramp, or the ramp leading to your natural, then you're probably going to survive that phase of anything scary like that early adept or stalker harassment. And then with how much bio you get so quickly, you're probably going to survive any even like dedicated blink stalker attack with a little bit of scouting and a little bit of positioning, right? You just have a lot of bio pretty quickly. You really aren't using the factory and the starport for what you would expect from a 1-1-1, because usually you have to do like the Widow Mine drop with the medevac, and he did do that, but then we're also talking about like a Viking being produced in case it's a Stargate or a Warp Prism, and then maybe a Liberator that doesn't do much damage, and then maybe then you swap it off for a Raven. But starport was used, medevac Raven, and the factory was used as an add-on whore. That's what it was. It produced add-ons for the other structures, and tech labs are not slow building add-ons, by the way. So unless you have like INnoVation's level of macro and you instantly transfer that off, sometimes it's even worth transferring off factory's tech lab to another something or another. So, but it's just like how fast he does it, how clean he does his build. But the really nice thing for us, even if we don't do it as well as him, is that it means you're all inside your own base. You're very limited micro. You're not just like out doing drops because you think you have to. And you have this really strong attack that probably rolls over a bunch of different Protosses in whatever league you're playing in. Because if you can do that build and attack at that time with anywhere close to that number of units, with any amount of micro on that Raven, you're probably going to bop a lot of Protosses like Masters and below. Thank you, Happenstance, for that Twitch Prime sub. Gonna start seeing 6.10 everywhere in my dreams and my nightmares. I always notice a 6:10 timing. I'm pretty sure they were talking about July 10th, but then I'm actually misremembering if they do the American version of day month or the European version of day month. Huh. You know, my gut tells me they do the American version, and that does mean July 10th or June 10th, but now I'm second guessing myself. The really nice thing about my birthday, which is the 5th of May, is that I didn't even notice that Canada had a different way of writing its like date and birth date. I don't think the patrol cared. They just went like Americans if I did do it wrong, but I never do it wrong. Interesting build here from INnoVation. So creator opened up with Stargate, changing things up a lot, but Stargate's harassment, not gonna do very much besides give you that scouting to ensure you can get a faster third. So changing away entirely from the a bit slower Colossus opener, where you're depending so much on those 2 very important units, maybe 3 if you can buy time. Oh, Adept's allowed in. Whoops a daisy. Did they see that second barracks? Ooh, interesting. They did not. And the Oracle didn't really get close at all to the bit. I wonder if he even saw... With just the Adept Scout? That looks like a regular one-on-one. We're actually talking about combat shields along with a few extra Marines here. And we do have an attack. SCV's being pulled. Accidentally brings the mule. Look at that. INnoVation makes that mistake too, guys. Feel human. Feel human again. Stasis traps are being placed down, but oh boy, it's gonna be so difficult to deal with. The Cyclone is taken out of the equation. That is nice, but look how many units we're talking about. And combat shields as well. Another great build, I think, to steal for your own play here, guys. Most Protoss can be very surprised by this. Oh, another stasis trap popped. It is 2 SCVs. The Cyclone is going to be able to help out when an actual push comes to shove. 3 Oracles were also invested into. A 4th Oracle is on the way. Now, it's hard to tell exactly. The 4th Oracle might just be literally Crater saying, I need to produce something, anything, and he is absolutely correct. He has to be doing something, anything. But this actually is just not good against what INnoVation has on the front lines. You know, grabs a tank, that's fantastic, but what about all these Marines already here trying to attack into you? Stasis trap, how much is it gonna get here? It's gonna get a decent amount now. This 5 Marines, actually. Not even that good. Second tank is here. SCVs are potentially gonna get slaughtered, but that's so many units not helping back at home. And with 5 Marines out of the equation, and the Viking landed, maybe 4 Oracles could have helped, especially with the shield batteries, but now they're gonna be out of juice. Oh yeah, Crater's pretty dead. He's got this really awkward positioning too, his own Sim City, where he's gonna be coming in from 2 different chokes, 3 different chokes. Phoenix tries to help out here, but an instant target fire means the tank gets all the shots necessary. INnoVation with the quick 2-0 bopping of Creator. Didn't even look like Creator had a chance, guys.